One of the questions I get asked the most is, "Hey old man, how close is the ship to her new home?" Well, hang on to the end of this video and you're going to get a surprise. Now, what is going on here? Big changes are underway at Pier 15 in Galveston, Texas. As the legendary Battleship Texas prepares for her next chapter, the pier is buzzing with activity. Crews, equipment, and excitement all building toward the historic arrival. In this video, I'm taking you behind the scenes to see the massive preparations happening right now to welcome this World War I and II veteran back to the public eye. This is history in motion. Let's dive in.
All right, guys, we are on the way to Galveston today with two goals in mind. One, we're going to fly around the battleship with the 360 camera. And more importantly, or at least more importantly this trip, we're going to try to find out what's going on at Pier 15. I believe that's going to be our best indicator as to when the ship might move over to her permanent home. I'm sure the foundation will tell us on their Facebook page when that event is going to happen. But if they follow the pattern that they've been taking, they won't let anybody know anything until after it's done. So we'll try to jump the gun on it and try to get a good idea of when that move might take place and see what's going on at Pier 15. So let's get buckled up here and get on the road and get down to Galveston and see what's going on. All right, we are right here at 15th Street, which is where Pier 15 is. Beautiful sound of sirens in the background. We are going to wait for them to pass. Ambulance headed to the hospital, which is just a mile or two down the road. All right, so 15th Street dead ends into a parking lot. Doesn't actually go out to Pier 15. So we're going to drive around and see if we can gain access anywhere in the vehicle or walking, either way, whatever we might be able to accomplish. However, right here at the parking lot, there's about a 6-foot fence keeping people out. So I don't hold out much hope for getting in there, but we're going to drive around to see what we can do. Now, for those of you that want to talk about how my Jeep is idling, I'm well aware of the problem. It's the ECM, the idle circuit inside of it is giving out, so I need to replace that, but like the clutch, it'll get done. Now, this looks like the actual entrance to Pier 15 right here, which is apparently blocked. Let's go down. It's 14th Street. Street appears to be the way to get in there. Maybe 16th Street as well. We'll loop back around here and see what we can do. can see, that is Galveston Wharves Cruise Terminal. They're not going to let me in there without a ticket. I could probably drive in. Well, let's just see if we can drive in. That is Pier 15 off to the left. The blue and white building is the building that, or I believe it's the building that is going to become the entryway to the Battleship Texas. It's fairly large. It's extremely large, as a matter of fact. So I don't know if it's going to be all for the Battleship Texas. Hopefully it will be, and hopefully they'll put together quite a museum inside there as well. Somewhat. Appears to be a lot of construction going on. Parking lot construction. There's a lot of construction going on inside that building. Building next to it, which is an elevated parking garage. It's got some construction going on in there, but I'm sure that's for a cruise line. That's not for the battleship. And let's get turned around here, get out of here, because there's nothing else to see in that direction. Get stopped here somewhere where you can see. Now hopefully you can see that building. Now the blue and white building there is the Pier 15 building. You can see the ferry boat in there, which is in the water, actually at Pier 15. You can see that there's a lot of construction going on in the area. A lot of parking lot construction that direction, and people going in and out of the building the other direction. So we can see that work is being done on Pier 15. So now let's get down to the public area where I usually fly from. And we'll get the drone in the air, fly over Pier 15, see if anything is happening on top of the building or just around the building.
Pier 15, located on the northern edge of the Galveston Ship Channel in Galveston, Texas, was originally constructed in the early to mid-20th century as part of the Port of Galveston's expansion to accommodate growing maritime commerce. Like many of the piers along the Galveston waterfront, its primary purpose was industrial and logistical, to support the loading and unloading of cargo ships, particularly during an era when Galveston was one of the busiest ports on the Gulf Coast. The pier was likely built between the 1920s and 1940s, during a period of heavy investment in port infrastructure. Heavy timber and later reinforced concrete pier construction typical of the era, with large open dock sheds and direct rail and truck access, designed to handle bulk cargo, general freight, and later roll-on, roll-off equipment. Early uses may have included cotton, grain, and manufactured goods. The pier was primarily used to load and unload commercial cargo vessels. Ships would dock parallel to the pier, allowing cranes, forklifts, and longshoremen to transfer goods. The pier likely included warehousing and temporary storage. Like many piers in Galveston, Pier 15 would have had embedded rail tracks to facilitate direct cargo transfers between ship and train, which was critical for distributing goods inland. As containerization modernized shipping practices in the latter half of the 20th century, many of the older piers, including Pier 15, saw a decline in use or were repurposed. While some piers were dismantled, others like Pier 15 have been preserved or adapted for new roles, including lay berthing, maritime services, event staging, or, in more recent times, preparations for historic vessels like the Battleship Texas. Every square foot of this pier is being reimagined. It's not just about mooring a ship, it's about building a space worthy of her presence. A place where veterans will come to remember, where students will come to learn, and where families will stand in awe of a ship that shaped the very world we live in. This is more than just construction, it's tribute, it's transformation, it's Texas. And soon, where today there are cranes and cables, there will be turrets and new pine decks. Where there are toolboxes and scaffolds, there will be stories and ceremonies. Pier 15 is being prepared not just for a battleship, but for the return of a monument to American perseverance. The Battleship Texas is coming home, and this is just the beginning. One question I get more than anything else is how far is the ship from her new home? Well, let me show you.